5 days had passed since the Void Harbingers appeared. Earth scientists worked around the clock alongside Vraxian experts. The combined fleet formed a protective ring around Earth, but everyone knew it was only a matter of time before the Harbingers finished feeding on the outer planets and came for them. On the bridge of the Asterisk, U.S. Horizon Asterisk, Lisa Morgan studied the latest reports. 3 Harbingers had already reached the Sun and were slowly draining its energy. Solar output was down by 2%. Any progress? She asked as Peter Barnes entered the bridge. Dr. Lee thinks she's found something, Peter said. She wants everyone in the main lab right away. In the lab, Samantha stood before a strange device. It looked like a metal sphere with countless tiny lights embedded in its surface. This is an emotion amplifier, Samantha explained as Lisa and the others gathered around. We've discovered that human emotions, particularly hope, determination, and courage, generate energy patterns that are toxic to the Harbingers. How does it work? Lisa asked. It captures and amplifies the emotional energy of nearby humans, Samantha said. In tests, it generates a field that repels the small Harbinger samples we've been able to contain. Drelvox examined the device. You can defeat these ancient enemies with feelings. Not just feelings, Amanda Price said, joining them. The Council archives finally gave us the full story. Humans were engineered by a race called the Predecessors, who fought the Harbingers millions of years ago. When they realized they were losing, they created humans as living weapons. They gave us the capacity to generate emotional energy that disrupts the Harbingers' dark energy, Samantha added. But they didn't finish their work before they were destroyed. So we're incomplete weapons? Lisa asked. No, Amanda said. We're their legacy. They gave us the tools to survive, but left us to develop in our own way. Ryan Davis hurried into the lab. Captain, the Harbingers are changing course. They're heading directly for Earth. Everyone rushed back to the bridge. On the main screen, dozens of dark entities moved toward them, leaving drained and lifeless ships in their wake. How many amplifiers do we have? Lisa asked. Just one prototype, Samantha replied. It's not enough to protect the planet. Peter stepped forward. Captain, I've been studying the test results. The amplifier works by creating a resonance field. If we could link it to our communications network, we might be able to broadcast that resonance. Like an emotional radio signal. Lisa asked. Exactly, Peter confirmed. Every human on Earth could contribute their emotional energy. Do it, Lisa ordered. While Peter and Samantha worked to connect the amplifier to Earth's global communication system, Lisa opened a channel to every screen on the planet. People of Earth, she began, we face an enemy unlike any we've encountered before. These entities feed on energy and fear, but we have a weapon they never expected, our humanity, our hope, our determination to survive. In the next few minutes, we're going to ask you to focus on those feelings, to remember what makes us human, our love for each other, our courage in the face of danger, our refusal to give up, no matter the odds. As she spoke, people around the world watched and listened. In homes, offices, schools, and streets, billions of humans focused their thoughts on survival, on hope, on the future. Peter's voice broke in. Amplifier is connected, Captain. Ready on your command. Activate, Lisa ordered. The amplifier hummed to life. Across the planet, a wave of energy began to build, not physical energy, but something more profound. The combined emotional force of billions of human minds focused on a single purpose. In space, the approaching Harbingers faltered. The lead entities began to writhe and distort, as if in pain. Some broke apart entirely, dissolving into harmless particles that scattered through space. It's working, Ryan exclaimed. The remaining Harbingers retreated from Earth, fleeing back toward the edges of the solar system. The ones feeding on the sun detached and followed. A week later, representatives from the Galactic Council arrived. They were shocked to find humans and Vraxians working together to develop a network of emotion amplifiers to protect the galaxy. The Milky Way is no longer forbidden territory, Amanda told the council delegation. It's the front line in a new war against the Void Harbingers, and humanity is ready to lead that fight. Lisa stood beside her, watching as human and alien engineers installed the first interstellar emotion amplifier. We were made for this, she said quietly. Not just to fight, but to feel, to hope, to never give up. That's the real power of humanity. The dark entities moved through space with frightening speed. Both the Earth and Vraxian fleets stopped fighting as these new threats appeared. The shadowy forms seemed to be made of pure darkness, their edges blurring and shifting constantly. What are those things? Lisa asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Amanda stepped forward. They're called the Void Harbingers. Ancient records describe them as beings of dark energy that feed on stars. One of the entities approached a smaller Vraxian ship. It wrapped its formless body around the vessel, which began to dim as if its energy was being drained. In seconds, the ship went dark and began to drift. All ships, full back to Earth orbit, Lisa ordered. She turned to Drelvox. Your people need to retreat too. Drelvox nodded and sent an urgent message to the Vraxian fleet. Most of their ships began moving away from the entities, but some were already caught in their grasp. Grand Marshal Vexcor's face appeared on the screen again. What trickery is this, humans? What weapons have you unleashed? These aren't our weapons, Lisa replied. They're the reason the Milky Way was forbidden. Your invasion released them. In the science lab, Samantha was analyzing the entities. These things are like nothing I've ever seen. They seem to absorb energy of all kinds, electrical, thermal, even light itself. Can we fight them? Lisa asked over the comm. I don't know, Samantha admitted, but I've noticed something strange. They avoid direct contact with our ships, but seem drawn to the Vraxian vessels. Amanda looked at Samantha's data. The council records mentioned this. The Void Harbingers were contained in this galaxy thousands of years ago. The prohibition was a quarantine measure. On the bridge, Lisa watched as more entities appeared. So when the Vraxians crossed the boundary, they broke the quarantine, Amanda finished. And now the Void Harbingers are free. A smaller entity drifted near the asterisk horizon asterisk. Everyone tensed, but instead of attacking, it seemed to pause, as if studying the ship. It's not attacking us, Ryan noted. Why? Drelvox looked troubled. Perhaps they recognize your kind. Lisa turned to him. What do you mean? If these are the ancient enemies the council feared, Drelvox explained, and humans were engineered as Ambassador Price suggested. We were made to fight them, Lisa realized. Samantha's voice came urgently over the comm. Captain, I've completed the analysis of those genetic markers in human DNA. They allow us to generate a unique energy pattern, a kind of anti-dark energy. How do we use it? Lisa asked. I don't know yet, Samantha replied. But I think it happens naturally when humans feel strong emotions. The entity near the asterisk horizon asterisk suddenly moved closer. Everyone on the bridge braced for attack, but Lisa stepped forward, facing the view screen. Stand your ground, she ordered. Show no fear. The entity paused again, then slowly retreated. It worked, Peter said in amazement. It backed off. Amanda's eyes widened. The prophecy. It said the forbidden species would either save or destroy all galactic life. This must be what it meant. Grand Marshal Vexcor called again, his usual confidence gone. Captain Morgan, these entities have disabled 10 of our ships. We cannot fight them with conventional weapons. We need to work together, Lisa told him. Combine our fleets and retreat to Earth. We may have a way to fight these things, but we need time. Vexcor hesitated, then nodded. Very well. Survival takes precedence over conquest. As both fleets regrouped near Earth, more Void Harbingers gathered throughout the solar system. They began moving toward the sun. They're going for our star, Samantha warned. If they drain its energy, all life in the system dies. Lisa finished. She turned to Amanda. Contact the Council. Tell them what's happening. We need any information they have on these entities." Amanda nodded and moved to a private terminal. Lisa addressed her crew. "If humans were designed to fight these things, then that's what we'll do. Dr. Lee, focus all research on how our unique energy can be weaponized. Lieutenant Barnes, prepare all ships to be equipped with whatever she develops." "And if we can't find a solution in time?" Ryan asked quietly. Lisa looked at the view screen, where the dark shapes were gathering around the distant sun. "That's not an option," she said firmly. "Humanity doesn't give up. And if we were made for this fight, then we're going to win it." Earth's response was swift. 25 warships joined the U.S. horizon in a defensive formation near Mars. The ships were smaller than the Vraxian vessels, but moved with greater speed and precision. Captain Lisa Morgan stood at the center of the Horizon's Bridge. "All ships report ready," Captain Ryan Davis said from his station. "Good," Lisa replied. "Deploy the solar shield satellites." Across the solar system, hundreds of small devices activated, creating a web of defensive sensors and energy dampeners. The Vraxians had not expected this level of preparation. On the main screen, Grand Marshal Vexcor's face appeared. "Your defenses are impressive for a young species," he admitted, "but they will not save you." "We don't want to fight," Lisa replied, "but we will defend our home." Vexcor ended the transmission without responding. Moments later, the Vraxian fleet began to move. "They're splitting into 3 attack groups," Drelvox observed from his position beside Lisa. "Classic Vraxian formation. The center group will draw your fire while the flanking groups move to surround you." Lisa nodded. "Lieutenant Barnes, is the wormhole device ready?" "Yes, Captain," Peter replied from the engineering bay. "We've modified it to create localized disruptions in space. It won't last long, but it should confuse their navigation systems." "Deploy on my mark," Lisa ordered. She turned to the communications station. "Open a channel to all Earth ships." Ryan complied, and Lisa addressed the fleet. "This is Captain Morgan. Hold position until the enemy reaches the asteroid belt. Then execute Pattern Omega. Good luck." The bridge fell silent as they watched the Vraxian ships approach. The alien vessels were beautiful in their way, sleek purple hulls with glowing energy patterns along their sides. "Enemy ships entering the asteroid belt," Ryan reported. "Now," Lisa commanded. Peter activated the wormhole device. 5 small distortions appeared around the lead Vraxian ships. The aliens' formation faltered as their navigation systems failed. "All ships, execute Pattern Omega," Lisa ordered. The Earth fleet split apart, moving in complex patterns that seemed chaotic but followed a precise plan. The Vraxian center group fired energy weapons, but most shots missed their rapidly moving targets. "It's working," Lisa said to Drelvox. "Your ships can't track our movement patterns." "For now," Drelvox cautioned, "but they will adapt quickly." He was right. Within minutes, the Vraxian fleet adjusted their targeting systems. Energy beams struck 3 Earth ships, disabling them. "We're taking heavy fire," Ryan reported as the Horizon shook from a near miss. Lisa gripped her chair. "Pull back to secondary positions." The Earth fleet retreated toward Mars, taking more hits as they went. The battle was not going well. In the science lab, Dr. Samantha Lee and Ambassador Amanda Price worked frantically to understand the strange energy readings. "These patterns," Samantha said, pointing to her screen. "They're responding to the battle. Every time a weapon fires, they grow stronger." Amanda looked concerned. The council elders warned about this. They called it the Awakening. On the bridge, Ryan Davis studied the Vraxian communications. "Captain, I've discovered something. The Vraxians are using a coordinated communication system. All orders flow through 5 command ships. If we could disrupt those ships," Lisa began. "We could break their coordination," Drelvox finished. "But those ships will be heavily protected." Peter's voice came over the comm. "Captain, the wormhole device is reaching critical levels. We can manage one more major disruption before it burns out. Lisa made her decision. Target the 5 command ships. Maximum effect. Executing now, Peter confirmed. The wormhole device pulsed one final time. 5 larger distortions appeared, one around each Vraxian command ship. The effect was immediate. The alien fleet's coordinated attack broke down into confused individual actions. It worked, Ryan exclaimed. Their fleet is in disarray. But the victory was short-lived. The strange energy patterns Samantha had been monitoring suddenly intensified. Across the solar system, swirling vortices of dark energy began to form. "Captain," Samantha called from the lab. "Something's happening. The energy patterns are coalescing into entities." On the view screen, dark shapes appeared against the backdrop of space. Writhing, formless things that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. "What are they?" Lisa asked, stunned. Amanda's face went pale. The ancient enemy. The real reason the Milky Way was forbidden. Everyone in the conference room rushed to the bridge of the U.S. horizon. The main screen showed dozens of ships appearing at the edge of the solar system. "Those are Vraxian warships," Drelvox said, his voice a mix of pride and worry. The High Command must have received Kaylor's transmission. Lisa turned to Kaylor. "You sent information about us to your leaders." Kaylor didn't deny it. "It is my duty. I didn't expect them to respond so quickly." "How many ships?" Lisa asked Ryan Davis. 57 and counting, Captain," he replied. "Much larger than the scout vessels." Amanda Price stepped forward. "This is bad. The Council will see this as a full invasion. They'll respond in force." A communication alert sounded. Ryan opened the channel, and a stern Vraxian face appeared on screen. The alien wore an elaborate uniform with gold markings. "I am Grand Marshal Vex Kor of the Vraxian Empire," the alien announced. "Captain Drelvox, your mission was to scout, not reveal our presence." Drelvox straightened. "Grand Marshal, the situation is complex. The humans are more advanced than we believed." "So Kaylor's data shows," Vex Kor replied. "Which is why we've launched the invasion now, before they grow stronger." Lisa stepped into view. "Grand Marshal, I am Captain Lisa Morgan of Earth. There's no need for invasion. We can establish peaceful relations." Vex Kor's eyes narrowed. "Peace is not our objective, human. The Milky Way has resources we need, and we will take them." The transmission cut off. Lisa turned to her crew. "Red alert. All hands to battle stations." "Captain," Ryan called out, "message from Earth Defense Command. All available ships are being mobilized, but it will take hours for them to reach us." Amanda grabbed Lisa's arm. "You can't fight them alone. Let me contact the Council." Lisa nodded, and Amanda stepped away, working with a small device on her wrist. "Dr. Lee," Lisa said, "you were studying the DNA information Ambassador Price mentioned. What have you found?" Samantha looked up from her tablet. "It's preliminary, but she's right. Human DNA contains markers that aren't natural. We've been modified by something or someone thousands of years ago." "For what purpose?" Lisa asked. "I don't know yet," Samantha admitted. "But these markers are concentrated in areas related to adaptability, aggression, and problem-solving." Drelvox had been listening quietly. Now he spoke. "If what Ambassador Price says is true, my people are making a terrible mistake. Humans aren't just another species to conquer." "Will your Grand Marshal listen to you?" Lisa asked. "No," Drelvox admitted, "but I can help you prepare. Vraxian battle tactics have weaknesses you can exploit." Peter Barnes approached with a tablet. "Captain, I've been working on an idea. The experimental wormhole drive in Hangar Bay 3 could be modified to create disruption fields around the Vraxian ships." "That's still in testing," Lisa said. "It's not stable." "It's our best option," Peter insisted. "We don't need it to be stable, just disruptive." Lisa considered this. "Make it happen. Work with Drelvox to identify the best points to target. On the screen, the Vraxian fleet spread out into attack formation. "They'll be in weapons range in 30 minutes, Ryan reported. Amanda returned, looking grim. "The Council is in chaos. The prohibition being broken has caused a political crisis. They're debating whether to intervene, but it will take time." "Time we don't have," Lisa said. "There's more," Amanda added. "The Council elders are worried about something they call the Awakening. They believe the Vraxian invasion might trigger it." "Trigger what?" Lisa asked. "They wouldn't say," Amanda replied, but they seemed terrified. Samantha suddenly looked up from her workstation, face pale. "Captain, I found something in our deep space scans. There are energy patterns forming throughout the solar system, patterns that match nothing in our database." "Vraxian weapons?" Lisa asked. "No," Drelvox answered, looking at the data. "We have nothing like this." "Then what is it?" Lisa demanded. Samantha shook her head. "I don't know. But whatever it is, it's growing stronger." The conference room aboard the U.S. Horizon was ready. Captain Lisa Morgan stood at the head of the table, with Lieutenant Peter Barnes and Dr. Samantha Lee flanking her. A large screen on the wall displayed the face of Secretary General Natalie Chen from Earth, who had joined via secure transmission. The doors slid open. 4 Vraxians entered, led by Captain Drelvox. The aliens moved with a fluid grace despite their large size. Their scaled skin caught the light as they walked. "Welcome aboard the Horizon *," Lisa said, gesturing to the empty chairs. "Please, be seated." Drelvox studied the chairs briefly before sitting down carefully. His 3 officers followed suit. "This is Secretary General Natalie Chen, Earth's political leader," Lisa explained, indicating the screen. Natalie nodded from her office in New York. "Captain Drelvox, I hope we can reach an understanding about your presence in our galaxy." "Your galaxy?" Drelvox's yellow eyes narrowed. "The Milky Way has been designated as forbidden territory for over 20,000 years. No one owns it. Perhaps you could explain this designation," Lisa suggested. "Why is our galaxy forbidden?" Kaylor, the Vraxian science officer, placed a small device on the table. It projected a 3-dimensional map of the local galactic cluster. "The Galactic Council governs over 30 galaxies," Kaylor explained. "The Milky Way is the only one marked as off-limits to all civilizations." "But why?" Samantha asked. "What makes our galaxy different?" Drelvox and Kaylor exchanged looks. "The official reason is to allow natural development of any species within," Drelvox said. "But many believe there are resources here that the Council wants to keep for themselves." While they talked, Kaylor discreetly activated a small device under the table. It began scanning and transmitting data about human technology back to the Vraxian fleet. "And you decided to violate this law?" Secretary Chen asked. "The Vraxian Empire grows. We need new worlds, new resources," Drelvox stated plainly. "The Council's restrictions have held us back for too long." Peter Barnes noticed a subtle energy spike from Kaylor's position. He tapped a command into his tablet, initiating a counterscan, but said nothing. "If this Council exists," Lisa said, "won't they respond to your breach?" "Eventually," Drelvox admitted. "But by then, we will have established." A bright flash of light interrupted him. Everyone shielded their eyes. When the light faded, a woman in a gray uniform stood in the corner of the room. "They've already responded," the woman said. Lisa jumped to her feet. "How did you get on my ship?" The woman smiled. "Hello, Lisa. I'm Amanda Price, Earth's ambassador to the Andromeda Galaxy." Silence fell over the room. Drelvox and his officers stared at Amanda in shock. "Impossible," Kaylor whispered. "Humans don't have teleportation technology." "We don't," Amanda confirmed. "The Council provided it." She turned to Secretary Chen on the screen. "Madam Secretary, I apologize for the secrecy. A small group of humans has been in contact with the Council for decades." "What?" Chen looked stunned. "Under whose authority?" "A question for another time," Amanda said. She faced Drelvox. The Council knows you're here, Captain. They've called an emergency session. Drelvox stood, his tail swishing angrily. You're human. How could you be working with the Council? Because humans are special, Amanda replied. We possess a genetic trait no other species has, adaptive evolution. We can change and adapt faster than any known species. That's why the Milky Way is forbidden, she continued. Not to protect us from you, but to protect you from us. Lisa stared at Amanda. What are you saying? I'm saying that long ago, something changed human DNA. Amanda explained. We were engineered for a purpose. The Council fears what we might become if we spread beyond our galaxy. And they were right to worry, Kaylor said quietly, looking at her scanning device. Your technology has advanced at an alarming rate. In just a few hundred years, you've gone from primitive combustion to faster-than-light travel. Which makes me wonder, Lisa said, turning to Drelvox. Why would you risk coming here if humans are so dangerous? Before Drelvox could answer, alarms blared throughout the ship. Ryan Davis's voice came over the intercom. Captain, we're detecting multiple ships entering the solar system. A lot of ships. The U.S. horizon dropped out of faster-than-light travel near Jupiter's orbit. Captain Lisa Morgan stood from her chair and approached the main view screen. 5 alien vessels hung against the darkness of space, their hulls gleaming with a metallic purple sheen. All stop, Lisa ordered. Keep us at a respectful distance. Lieutenant Davis, open all communication frequencies. Ryan Davis nodded. Frequencies open, Captain. Lisa straightened her uniform. This is Captain Lisa Morgan of the Earth vessel U.S. Horizon *. We welcome you to our solar system and wish to establish peaceful contact. Silence filled the bridge as they waited. Seconds stretched into minutes. No response, Captain, Ryan reported. Dr. Samantha Lee entered the bridge, slightly out of breath. Sorry I'm late. Are those the alien ships? Lisa nodded. They're not responding to our hails. Try again, but add a visual this time, Samantha suggested. Some species prefer visual communication. Ryan adjusted his controls. Visual transmission ready, Captain. Lisa faced the camera. This is Captain Lisa Morgan of Earth. We come in peace and wish to establish dialogue. The main screen flickered, then showed the bridge of the alien vessel. A tall, reptilian being with purple-gray scales stood in the center. 4-fingered hands rested on what appeared to be a control panel. Yellow eyes with vertical pupils fixed on them. I am Captain Drelvox of the Vraxian Empire, the alien said, its mouth moving strangely with the words. Your presence is unexpected. This galaxy was believed to be inhabited only by primitive species. Lisa kept her expression neutral despite her surprise. We have lived in this galaxy for our entire history. Perhaps there has been a misunderstanding. Drelvox made a sound that might have been laughter. The misunderstanding is yours. The Milky Way has been designated forbidden territory by the Galactic Council for millennia. We are the first to brave these waters in 1,000 years. Galactic Council. Lisa exchanged looks with her officers. We know of no such council. Of course you don't, Drelvox said. You were meant to develop in isolation. But the Vraxian Empire no longer recognizes the Council's authority in this matter. Lieutenant Peter Barnes leaned toward Lisa. Captain, they're scanning us. Intensive energy sweeps across all spectrums. Lisa nodded slightly. Captain Drelvox, we request you cease scanning our vessel. Where we come from, such actions without permission are considered hostile. The alien's head tilted. You dare to make demands. Your ship is half the size of my command vessel. We could destroy you with minimal effort. I wouldn't be so sure, Lisa replied calmly. We prefer peace, but we are prepared to defend ourselves. Dr. Samantha Lee stepped forward. Captain, may I? At Lisa's nod, she addressed the alien. Captain Drelvox, I'm Dr. Samantha Lee, cynobiologist. I notice your breathing rate has increased, and the scales around your neck are flushing a deeper purple. In many species, these are signs of stress or anxiety. Are you concerned about something? Drelvox seemed taken aback. Your observations are irrelevant. Actually, they're quite relevant, Samantha continued. You expected primitive beings, but instead found a spacefaring civilization with technology comparable to yours. That must be unsettling. The alien commander's tail twitched visibly. Enough. We did not come to be analyzed by lesser beings. Ryan Davis, who had been working quietly at his station, looked up. Captain, I've been analyzing their language patterns. I think I've established a more comprehensive translation protocol. Activate it, Lisa ordered. The screen flickered as the new protocol engaged. Suddenly, subtle harmonics became apparent in Drelvox's speech patterns. Expect resistance. We come to claim resources, not tow. The alien stopped abruptly, realizing more of his speech was being translated. So you came to take resources, Lisa said. That explains your surprise at finding us here. You expected an empty galaxy ripe for exploitation. Drelvox's posture shifted. Your understanding of our language is impressive. Perhaps we have underestimated your species. That would be a mistake, Lisa said. I propose we meet in person to discuss this situation further. You're welcome to send representatives to our ship. The alien commander considered this. Very well. A diplomatic exchange may be informative. But be warned, any treachery will be met with the full might of the Vraxian Empire. Understood, Lisa replied. We look forward to your arrival. She signaled Ryan to end the transmission. As the screen went dark, the bridge crew looked at her expectantly. Well, Lisa said, that could have gone worse. Prepare the conference room for our guests, and Lieutenant Barnes, quietly double security throughout the ship. Captain Drelvox stood on the bridge of his command ship, the Stellar Claw *. His four-fingered hand tightened around the control sphere as the forbidden boundary of the Milky Way galaxy loomed ahead on the view screen. The 5 Vraxian vessels in his fleet maintained perfect formation behind him. Soon, they would make history. All ships report ready, Captain, said Kaylor, his science officer. Her scaled skin shimmered under the blue bridge lights. The energy shields are at maximum capacity. Drelvox nodded. The Council has kept us from this galaxy for too long. Today we claim its riches for the Vraxian Empire. With a simple gesture, he pushed the control sphere forward. The Stellar Claw * surged ahead, crossing the invisible line that had marked forbidden territory for thousands of years. The other ships followed. For a moment, nothing happened. Then alarms blared across all 5 ships. Captain, strange energy pulses are emanating from somewhere deep in the galaxy, Kaylor reported, her claws dancing across the control panel. They appear to be some kind of warning system. Drelvox smiled, showing rows of sharp teeth. Let them warn. By the time anyone responds, we will have already claimed our prize. Alan Wright was about to end his shift at Earth's Deep Space Monitoring Station when the alert sounded. He rubbed his tired eyes and stared at the screen. 5 unknown objects had just entered the outer edge of the Milky Way, moving with purpose. Susan, are you seeing this? He called to his colleague. Susan Miller hurried over, coffee splashing from her mug. What in the world? Those aren't natural objects. Alan's fingers flew across the keyboard. They're ships, and they're heading toward our solar system. He reached for the red phone that connected directly to Earth Defense Command. This is Deep Space Monitor Station 7. We have a code Crimson. I repeat, code Crimson. Unknown vessels have entered our galaxy. On board the US Horizon *, Captain Lisa Morgan was reviewing maintenance reports when the emergency communication came through. Captain to the bridge immediately. The voice announced over the ship-wide system. Lisa put down her tablet and hurried to the bridge. Her first officer, Jack Porter, was already there, looking tense. What's the situation? She asked. 5 unidentified vessels entered the galaxy about 30 minutes ago, Jack said. Defense Command has ordered us to intercept. Lisa nodded. Lieutenant Davis, set course to intercept. Lieutenant Barnes, ready defensive systems, but keep weapons powered down. This is first contact protocol. People. Course plotted. Captain. Ryan Davis confirmed from the navigation console. ETA 4 hours at maximum speed. Execute. Lisa commanded, settling into her captain's chair. And someone wake up Dr. Lee. If we're meeting aliens, we'll need our xenobiologist. Meanwhile, on the Vraxian lead ship, Kaylor made an exciting discovery. Captain, I'm detecting thousands of electronic transmissions coming from the third planet of a yellow star system, she reported. They appear to be communications, entertainment broadcasts, and data transfers. Drelvox moved to her station. Show me. The screen filled with images from Earth, news broadcasts, music videos, and internet traffic. Intelligent life, Drelvox whispered. And they seem primitive enough for easy conquest. Kaylor studied her readings, but Captain, some of these transmissions suggest they have achieved space travel within their own system. Impossible, Drelvox scoffed. The Council assured us that no species in this galaxy had achieved that level of technology. That's why it was forbidden, to prevent technological contamination. Nevertheless, Kaylor insisted, I am detecting artificial satellites and what appear to be space stations. Drelvox contemplated this new information. Perhaps this explains the real reason the Milky Way was forbidden. Not to protect these species, but to keep them contained. A new alert sounded on Kaylor's panel. Captain, a vessel is approaching from the inner solar system. It appears to be a warship. Drelvox's expression hardened. So this planet has defenses. Interesting. Prepare the fleet for possible combat, but let's see what these creatures have to say first. In the Grand Assembly Hall of the Galactic Council, thousands of alien representatives sat in tiered seating that rose in a perfect circle. At the center stood Elder Zithril, his gray skin wrinkled with age, addressing the gathering with a grave voice. For 20,000 years, we have upheld our most sacred law, Elder Zithril said. The Milky Way galaxy remains forbidden to all. This quarantine has kept peace among the stars. Among those listening was Amanda Price, the only human in the room. Officially, she was a cultural observer from Earth. Unofficially, she was much more. Only a handful of people on Earth knew of her real mission as ambassador to the Andromeda galaxy. Elder Zithril motioned for Amanda to join him. She walked to the center, feeling the eyes of countless alien species upon her. The human shows promise, Elder Zithril told the assembly. Their kind may yet fulfill the prophecy, but they must develop without interference. After the assembly, Elder Zithril led Amanda to his private chambers. Ancient artifacts filled the room, collected from 1,000 worlds. There is something you must know, he told her. Something not shared with the council. Another secret? Amanda asked. She had grown used to the Elder's mysterious ways. The true reason the Milky Way is forbidden, Zithril said. It is not merely to protect young species like yours. It is to contain something far worse. He showed her an ancient tablet covered in symbols. The prophecy speaks of a species who could either save or destroy all galactic life. You mean humans, Amanda said. The Elder nodded slowly. Your genetic makeup is unique, modified long ago for a purpose now forgotten by most. Far away, in another part of Andromeda, Lieutenant Gaxazur stood before the command board of the Vraxian military. His purple scales gleamed under the harsh lights. His tail twitched with excitement. The Milky Way contains resources we need, Gaxazur argued. The Council's prohibition holds our empire back. The Vraxian High Commander, Vexcor, considered this. The Council has enforced this law for millennia. Breaking it would risk war. The Council grows weak, Gaxazur insisted, and our empire grows hungry. We must expand or stagnate. After much debate, Vexcor made his decision. Prepare a small exploration fleet, 5 ships only, led by Captain Drelvox. You will serve as his second." He leaned forward. "But remember, this mission is to scout only. No contact with any species you might find." Meanwhile, in Earth's solar system, Captain Lisa Morgan stood on the bridge of the U.S. Horizon *. Earth's largest and most advanced spaceship patrolled the outer reaches of the system. "Captain, we're detecting unusual energy readings near Neptune," Lieutenant Ryan Davis reported from the sensor station. Lisa moved to his side and studied the data. "Not a natural phenomenon, and not matching any known signature in our database." "Could it be the Russians? The Chinese?" asked Lieutenant Peter Barnes from Weapons Control. Lisa shook her head. "This is something else." She straightened her uniform. "Set course to investigate, and send a message to command. Tell them we're looking into a possible first contact situation." As the Horizon * changed course, Lisa gazed at the stars displayed on the main screen. Humanity had explored only a tiny fraction of their solar system. The vast galaxy beyond remained a mystery. They had long wondered if they were alone. They were about to discover they were not, and that their galaxy had been marked as forbidden territory for reasons beyond our understanding. A warning that for 20,000 years, all advanced civilizations had heeded. Until now.